When the clay's in the sky and you want to score high, try Marocchi, try Marocchi. When a pheasant goes by and you fancy game pie, try Marocchi, try Marocchi. Hi, Neil McPherson here, Wirksworth Gunroom. Now, shotgun to show you today. Not surprisingly, you've guessed it, it's a Marocchi. Let me just show you it's clear. There you go, you just seen the barrels? Yeah, okay. So, gun clear. So, an over and under shotgun by Marocchi, 12 bore. Box lock type action. And you might notice, if I can just get that for you there, we've got this particular action on this. It locks with this top sliding catch. Now those of you who've been shooting around a while might recognise that as being one of the design features of the Valmet shotgun that was made in Finland for many years, I think right through from the 1960s, possibly a little earlier, and based on a design by a Czech expatriate who was living in France, I believe, in the late 1940s. Anyway, it's a bit of a different take on the Anson and Dealey, but pretty effective. It certainly comes right over the top there, and as you can probably see, that's going nowhere. So you might ask, why Marocchi making an Italian maker making a shotgun and calling it the Finn? Well, as said, the design is essentially that of the Valmet shotgun, and to my understanding, somebody may be able to correct me, my understanding, effectively, Valmet was a nationalised Finnish industry. They were the national arms factory and they also made sporting guns. And they got privatised, I think in the 1980s. And somewhere along the line, they subcontracted out the manufacture of this type of shotgun to the Italian company Marocchi, who made them for many, many years for Valmet. Later on, Valmet got broken up, the arms bits got sold off, became Seiko and Tikka. Subsequently, Seiko and Tikka got bought by Beretta, and I guess at some point along the way, somebody at Beretta said, why have we got one of our competitors in Italy making shotguns for us? And I guess that was the end of that. So what Marocchi have done, they call it the Finn because it's that design, and they make them under their own name and have done for a few years now, I believe. So this particular model, the Finn 612SC, follows on, I guess, from the naming of the Valmet 412, 512 and so on. There's a number of different models of this. You can get it heavily engraved, you can get it with different types of fore-end, that's a sort of schnabel type fore-end there. Different types of checkering. I'll try and show a bit of checkering there, which you can just see that. So different options on that. But the other thing that's really interesting is that you can actually get not only a combination gun, i.e. a rifle and shotgun barrel in the over and under, you can also get a double rifle. So they do an express double rifle model, and that's in 9.3 with 74R and quite a few other calibers. In fact, they've got them listed in the case, which I'll be able to show you. Otherwise in operation, top lever as we say, ejectors, we've got an automatic safety, so the safety comes on, quite common on this type of thing, and your barrel selector is on the trigger, if you can see that there. So everything just right at hand. You've got a broad rib, something you don't often see, don't really see at all. You can perhaps just make it out there. This has actually got a dovetail so that you can mount an optic sight. Now, whether that would meet rules for Clay Pigeon Shooting Association, I don't know. I don't do a lot of clay pigeon shooting. Well, I know somebody who does, and we might be doing a video with him soon. But you know, if you want to fancy something like that, it's an option you wouldn't normally get. The action is an aluminium action. Now, if I take this down, you will be able to see how slick and clean this design is. we look into the action there, there's hardly anything. There's no real dirt traps. The bearing points, which you may be able to just see here, are replaceable, it would appear. And the whole thing looks as though it's designed for servicing. It's really lightweight. Now today, breaking with tradition, I have actually brought the scales with me. So we will be able, once I've just popped this back together, to actually go and put it on the scales. And we can see, let's have it, setting it down on the scales, £7. Terribly light. I've seen lighter guns, but this is the 30-inch barrel. They also do them with 26-inch barrel, 28-inch barrel, and of course the rifled barrels that I spoke of previously. Length of pull on this, I estimate it's about 14.5. I think we might be able to get stock spacers. And other thing that it does come with is the rest of the chokes. So including the set in the barrels, you've got 5 chokes, which really ought to cover most circumstances. Now, as delivered to us, the gun comes in this rather distinctive case, Finnish flag, and not going to be in any doubt as to who the makers are. Engineered in Finland, made in Italy, as it says. So the case just pops open, fairly ordinary sort of gun case. And key thing for you to notice here is that there's the gun, there's a set of barrels, but also it's got a little advertisement here. You know, complete your set, it says, and have a spare set of barrels, and there's the room for those. Whole set of double rifles, combination guns, and so on. So taking a look over the gun in a little more detail and starting at the muzzle, we've got a foresight with a little plastic insert. That's the sort of thing that captures the light, gives you a nice little dot. Nicely cross-checkered and milled rib. It's a ventilated rib, hopefully you can see a bit of light through there, and also you can see ventilated between the barrels, so I suspect you could really give this some hammer on the clay range, or perhaps if you've got a rather busy shoot on your driven day, perhaps something like that. Wood finish, this is a satin finish. There are different options available. They do this with an adjustable stock, and there's Monte Carlo stocks and semi-pistol grips, a few options in the catalogue. The action, as we've described, is aluminium. This is the nickel version, and I think if you want to, if you like a modern look, a sort of streamlined, uncluttered view, I think it's rather pleasing. The top lock is nicely blacked, aluminium trigger guard. Triggers, let's just try it. Fairly standard trigger. It's not really any creep. One point I did notice on this is in the stock is the fitting just here, so that you can actually put a sling swivel. However, there's no corresponding fitting at the front. So I suppose perhaps if you've got the double rifle version, that maybe comes with a separate mount. Such a thing could be fitted up. So in summary, a pretty pleasing gun. Available range of barrel lengths. You can have a spare set. You can have 26 and 30 in your set, or even the double rifle if you had that on your firearm certificate. You've got recoil pad, everything you want. Mounts nicely. Second bead for those who prefer that sort of thing, and pretty reasonable, I think, for price wise. The date of recording, these are around 1,350 retail in the UK. We could maybe do a bit of discount on that, we'd have to see, but that's the suggested retail. So all in all, certainly worth considering. I think either as a clay gun, or equally for use in the field as a sporting piece. Anyway, there it is, Marocchi, one to consider. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching. It's got to be you. It's got to be you. Hello, Wirksworth Gunroom. Internet police. Crimes against music. Yes, one moment, please.